visual landmarks for anyone traveling northbound on Route 1. The restaurant continuously adapted its menu to changing tastes. It expanded beyond Chinese American fare to include Cantonese. Now, did I say that right?
That sounds pretty good.
Okay. Sichuan, is that right?
That's fine.
Okay, good. Thai, Japanese, sushi, and Polynesian-inspired dishes.
Oh, can I interrupt?
Sure.
Now,
Please
Johnny
do.
can barely speak English. He's trying to speak Chinese now. Go ahead.
Oh, he speaks it better than me. I don't speak it.
All right. The Kowloon became more than a restaurant. It's a comedy club and performance space hosted well-known entertainers. Jerry Seinfeld, one of the comedians, musicians. For many years, New England families, they've had traditional birthday parties, graduations, anniversaries, and holiday gatherings at the Kowloon restaurant. Again, sports figures. Eddie Andelman, who we all love, has been a fixture at the Kowloon. When he had his, and he was the father of sports talk, Eddie Andelman, and he constantly always mentioned the Kowloons on the radio.
Don't forget Howie Carr.
Howie Carr.
Howie
too,
Carr.
Yeah. So all these people have become friends of the Wong family, and I want to say, as a resident of Saugus, the Wong family has done more for the community, more raising money for people in need. They've always been there. I know anytime I've ever needed any type of fundraiser, and I would go to Bobby, and he's helped out. And anytime he's needed somebody, I'd always be there for him. But I just want to tell you, Bobby, from the bottom of my heart, and I could speak for everybody, you've just been such a major contributor to the community, and I want to thank you for that.
No,
myself.
thank you. Thank you. Sounds good.
Now, when you started the Kowloon, because this goes back how many years? 75 years?
This is our 76th.
76
Yes.
years. Now, there's four siblings, four brothers?
4 brothers, 2 sisters.
2 sisters. Now, how did you end up, when you were a kid growing up into teenage, did your parents say, designate each one, anyone in particular one, say this one's going to be Bobby's the,
No.
nothing like that?
They actually never even persuaded us to go into the restaurant business. To be honest.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they raised us. We saw them, going to work every day, and we don't see them coming home. We wake up in the morning, we see them. We would have to wake them up. You know how sometimes you have to have a note from your parents saying that you're going to take the day off, especially on opening day, Red Sox opening day. I was always sick. All right, so I would go into my parents' bedroom and say, "Sign this." They didn't even know what they were signing because they were so. They signed it. We took off.
Now, your grandparents started the business, right, Bobby?
1950, my grandparents on my mother's side started the restaurant, and my mother and father took it over from them in 1958.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
And the history is just magnificent. I mean, I remember me and my first girlfriend, and I see the same booth. My first girlfriend and the first date way back in, it has to be 1981.
I remember that.
Well, you were there for sure, Bobby.
I was there.
And Joey, did you get lucky that night?
No, I'm lucky tonight, though, Johnny. I'm with you.
You hear
More
that,
like-
people out there? You hear that?
More like a curse, Bobby.
So
Go ahead, Johnny.
So Bobby, so you eventually took over as the manager along with your brothers, right?
Right.
And tell me something about the biggest challenges in your early years, and what are some of the big challenges you face today?
Well, the biggest challenge, I mean, back then was, you want to keep the business going. My parents started something that we were able to be handed down to us. Lucky us. It's like, I always tell them it's like a life sentence, you know what I'm saying? So you work long hours and you take care of the business, and working together was, in the beginning it's good and bad because, you get along, and sometimes you don't get along, and it's always family because it's family, it's personal. But we're in a great place right now. I mean, all our siblings, we all still get along great.
That's amazing, isn't it,
yeah.
though? Because when you really think about family businesses, right, Bobby, and I'm sure Johnny can attest, Billy, it doesn't usually work. Family businesses, always some kind of friction. Am I wrong?
Well, I wouldn't say always doesn't work. I mean, there's a lot of businesses that do well. I mean, but it's more challenging because once you have that family dynamic, it gets harder. And
Oh,
harder
no
as
question.
as you get older. So
Now, do any of the children of you siblings involved in the restaurant business?
Not so much. My son helps out, but we never encouraged our kids to go in the business, and it's a tough business. It's almost. I always tell people it's antisocial. It's like nights, weekends, holidays.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody work as hard as you, Bobby. There's not a day you're not there. Is there any days you take off?
Yeah, I take.
You do?
Yeah, once in a while I take it on. I go on vacation.
It's hard
I
to
play
find
golf.
you when we're not there. I'll tell you the truth. Go ahead, Joe. You want to say something?
Yeah, no. So I just no, Bobby. How have you balanced maintaining traditional recipes with the adapting to the changing tastes?
Well, naturally, when we first started, it was really simple menu. A lot of it actually was half of it was American style food. They had sandwiches and turkey dinners, chicken dinners, steak. But my parents added on things. What you look at now that most restaurants don't even have is like chow mein, egg foo young, roast pork strips, things like that. But that was the palate of the American public. They weren't used to going really crazy in terms of Chinese, real authentic Chinese food. But as we went along, my parents realized that the Polynesian theme was big back in the late 60s, early 70s. So each edition really had a Polynesian theme to it. And that's when I think there's a lot of the times it may have been from their travels to Hawaii or other places, even Florida in some instances, going to, tiki restaurants and exploring, and they come back with a pupu platter. A pupu platter is definitely not Chinese, you know what I'm saying? Like spare ribs, chicken fingers, crab rangoon, that's all more of a Hawaiian influence, I think, and that's where New England Chinese restaurants seem to take that and run with it. You don't see that really around the rest of the country.
Right.
You know what I find amazing, Bobby, is you've been there through the test of time. There was, how many other restaurants, Johnny, you probably know better than me. There was Diamond Head. There was Peking Garden.
The Whalus.
Whalus.
Bally High.
Bally High.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing how many different restaurants you've endured, and you're still the only one standing.
Well, I'm glad you just mentioned that, Joe, because my next question to Bobby is, what do you believe separates the Kowloon from the other Chinese restaurants in the area? And I think that's pretty much what you were just talking about, Joe.
Yeah, we've been, I think having 6 kids, my parents were smart. They had 6 kids, so we kind of like able to work that, whereas the other people, I don't know if their families got involved as much. And, you run the life of the management that you have there, and as they get older, they either pass it on to the kids or they kind of like wither away. In our case, my parents had 6 kids, and we were able to carry that torch a little bit. So,
was there ever a time, Bobby, where you had felt any competition with any particular restaurant?
Yeah, definitely. When Wei Lu's was being built, that was a beautiful restaurant.
Rick Chang.
Yeah, Rick. It was probably one, and I say this on air, but it was probably one of the most nicest looking restaurants.
Beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful inside.
And we would sneak up. Me and my head chef would sneak up when they were being built. And my head chef was, "You can't go in there. You can't go in." We're Chinese. They don't know who we are. so we'd go in and tell them not to build it like that. And I said, "No, no bathrooms." You know what I'm saying?
Well, that sounds a little, Bobby, that's funny. That's a funny story because that sounds a little bit like when Johnny goes to see a comedian and tries to give him bad advice what to do.
Yeah. No, but
So,
we would actually sneak
I'll
up there.
get you, Joseph.
See, Bobby, we Johnny and I go back and forth because I'm a frustrated stand-up comedian, and you before
I am too.
I was just going to say that before when we found out we weren't live, you were cracking a couple of jokes too. I said the comedy business has rubbed off on Bobby.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Go ahead.
So, Bobby, what have you done to build such strong customer loyalty?
I don't know. Just give them what they want.
I can answer that.
And I
in
can't do it.
terms of hospitality. That's we're in
Respect.
the hospitality.
You know what
business,
I feel.
treat everybody nice and
Yeah, exactly. I think you always treat everybody like you make everybody feel important.
There's
and
no way
that's
around
so-
it. That's
so
the key.
important. That's the key.
That's the key because
know?
you couldn't find someone in my travels that has not even the slightest negativity to say about this family. I have never.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a big part of it. Am I wrong, Johnny? The hospitality and
without
the
a
respect
doubt.
they give everybody?
I know that when you walk in, they'll go, "Oh, gee, here he comes. Here's Canzano. Oh no. Oh, he's
well,
here."
it's usually very late. So that's At that time, we're so tired. We just let you know what. Come on in.
Come on.
Can I just say something? Back in the 90s, now you know Al Fatucci.
Oh, yeah.
Al and I used to come up there. We used to have a party, a gang of us. And I didn't know Bobby quite as I knew him, but I didn't know him. But back then in the mid '90s, we used to come up there with a gang after our shows, the Legend Show. We'd be at Capone's or wherever we were. And I'm going to tell you, Bobby, you were open till 3 in the morning at the time.
Yeah, we were crazy.
Johnny, we used to stay. We used to close. And back then there was smoking and still smoking.
Yeah.
And we used to close the place at after 3 o'clock. I wonder if Bobby was saying, when these assholes getting out of here?
Actually, we were young, so when you're young,
That's
everything's
dirty.
fun.
Yeah.
Everything's
Everything's
fun. You know, we see people at 3 in the morning. It's great. It's great.
You were friends with Al's father too, Big Al.
Oh yeah, he was a great
Yep.
guy, and you know, you were young, so you had a lot more energy.
Oh
you know,
God!
so.
I'm talking like that's talking about the mid '90s. So you're 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Johnny.
You know, I have to tell you this, Bobby, and I just think this pure genius on your part. So we went through the pandemic, and, you know, of course, a lot of things went on during the pandemic. But what you did to the back, making a drive-in, and then you have concerts there. Now, I was there last summer. I went by there, and I just walked around, and I go, look at this. This is beautiful.
Reinventions.
They
Reinvent constantly.
And so that's the thing that you've always been able to do. It seems, Bobby, you've always been able to adapt, and, you know, you have great ideas, and you always make these ideas of yours come to life.
Yeah, well, that was by accident because, you know, naturally with the pandemic, everything was crazy.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we had to close indoors, and all of a sudden they said, okay, outdoors is open. And even before that, we said people are parking their cars outside, eating on their hoods of their cars, you know, equal safe distance away from each other. So we said we make it a little parking lot area that people can hang
You
around.
turned a negative into a positive
It's
because
amazing. It's
now
still-
it's like the best concert venue outside in the
my
summertime.
God. It's like a mini Woodstock
I
there.
believe
We have
I
the
believe-
cover girls coming in now.
Get out. You got to get out.
yeah,
Who do you
and,
got coming in?
We have the cover girls with Shannon. Then we have the Platters. They're going to be great. Then we have
The original?
I don't know. It depends. No, they're
all
all
dead.
They're all in their 30s. So I don't think so. Then we have a Taylor Swift tribute.
Yeah, I saw that. You
Yeah.
had that up in the on the Route 1 on the little
Yeah.
billboard outside there.
So now, have you ever done comedy outside, Bobby?
No, there's not many good comics around here. No, I'm just kidding.
Bobby,
No,
it's really
no,
rubbing
well,
off. How many
No.
years of comedy at the Kowloon
Oh,
have had?
geez, we
It's-
were a long
Yeah,
time.
long time.
It rubbed off.
Long
It rubbed
time.
off
Well,
on Bobby.
you know, I got to tell you, so I did a show at the Kowloon with Lenny Clark and John Panette. Now, this is before Giggles, this before. And we did 2 shows on a Saturday night, and they both sold out. And that's what kind of gave me the idea that there's got to be a full-time comedy a venue that's got to happen here. And sure enough, Route 1 became one of the hottest places for comedy in the country.
Yeah. Well,
amazing.
Joe Rogan talks about it all the time. Did Joe Rogan play at the Kowloon?
Yeah.
Well, we even before we had the comedy club upstairs. Do you remember in that lounge? We actually did comedy in the lounge on a,
I don't
a
remember
Wednesday
that.
night,
Yeah.
and
Really?
we had some people that
Yeah,
were
yeah.
pretty big people.
Is
there
that where
back in the
Johnny
day.
started off?
I don't. Well, he was drinking in the lounge. I don't know, but I don't know if we actually did comedy. But we actually had a comedy. It was a terrible setup, but we tried it anyway.
No matter what you've done, though, Bobby, everything you've done up there, it worked. You made it work, no matter what the circumstances was. Even like I said, if a small, and before they started the comedy upstairs. Now, why did you go downstairs in the first place? Why didn't you immediately go upstairs for the comedy?
Well, we never thought of it. We didn't know how it was going to be received. This was way before people had comedy. We'd do it in the lounge and just to see if we brought a crowd, and it really didn't take off. So we kind of like dropped it.
Wayloos did
Yeah.
it too. Wayloos had a little bit of a
Yeah.
comedy thing inside too, and you know you did get a few people in there, and you know, and see what happens is when you do those things, they're not seeing really good shows. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's guys going up, you know, that never did it before, and people like, you know, this comedy sucks, you know, and it wasn't until they start putting in really, really professional comedians that takes off.
Bobby, who was the original? Was it Jackie Gateman?
Actually, it was Bill Blooming right
Yeah.
before. He was the Comedy Connection, and then Jack Gateman with
Come in.
with Nick's Comedy came in.
Yes. Okay. A lot of history up there. I didn't follow the comedy in those days. Was that late '80s?
Now
Bobby?
you know the story behind that, right?
No,
About how Nick's got there.
you tell me.
Okay, so remember the Diamond?
Oh yeah, Diamond Head, right?
Okay,
yeah.
so what happened was I was friends with Dominic.
Okay.
He used to run the comedy at Nick's
In Boston.
in Boston. So I called. So what happened was, it was all set to. They were all set to do comedy at the Diamond Head.
Yep.
And so what happened is a Saugus police officer, I think it was Bennett, might have been Bennett, said to me, the Diamond Head's not doing well financially, and they're looking to do something. Maybe you could do a little comedy there. So now I contacted Dominic, and they were all set to go into Diamond Head, and it folded. And that's when I told them
Come over there.
to come over to
right.
see you.
Was
That's
there
when
a
Nick
function-
started with us, yeah.
Yeah.
Was there a function room in Diamond Head? I don't remember.
Well, they had a place where they had a band, like bands would play and all
That was
that.
my aunt's place, my mother's sister.
Get out.
Yeah.
was Diamond
Oh my
Head?
God!
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
No
yeah.
kidding. I never knew that.
Well, see that? See the things you're getting to know they're out there in podcast land.
Now, Bobby, do you get this? You have a restaurant in the Brook, right?
Yep.
Up in
right.
and but you have other places too that other locations in casinos.
Not in casinos. My sister runs another restaurant down in Brockton called the Maui,
Okay.
and we just opened up in Revere Beach. Back in the day,
That's-
so we had like 10 restaurants going at one time. But
Did
Yeah.
you really? Wow.
yeah, it was a lot of the malls. We were in Faneuil Hall. We were in
Okay.
Copley Place, Burlington.
How do you
Mall.
keep an eye on that type of the food business in general is so
it was
difficult.
tough. It was back then. It was a little bit easier because you had a lot more employees that were
Right.
Now it's
Tough getting employees
it's,
now.
It's much tougher.
Do you find that nobody wants to work? That not many people want to work anymore,
Well,
Bobby?
it's a different type of there's some people that still want to work, but it's the loyalty back in the days. For instance, was it the blizzard of '78?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if it snows 3 inches now, no one wants to go to work. Okay, but during the blizzard of '78, we opened during that blizzard.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't remember that, but we were able to open because there was a police sergeant down in Boston. One of the guys that was driving, that drove without helping, said, "I needed one of those passes. You had to have a pass to drive," and he gave it to him because we had to open the restaurant and feed the police and,
Right,
and the first responders. things
Oh,
like that.
before I forget, Carlo, the state trooper.
Yeah, great guy.
He's a very close friend of mine, and he told me today, if he's watching, he probably is. He goes, "You tell Bobby that the state police love his family, and he can't thank you enough for all the good you've done for them, and always assisting the police, and not just the state police, just
Well, they have a tough job.
Oh.
It's they have let's put it, they have a thankless job. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, and I respect them, and I respect law enforcement, and I think they.
I agree.
It's not easy.
No,
And, I always tell people, if you want to see how tough it is, sit in the back seat of a cruiser throughout the whole night where they make all their calls. When you have a domestic, when you have this, that.
No, absolutely.
And it's really it's mind-boggling, and it's scary. You know what I'm saying? So
all of us here are all pro cop. I can tell you that.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't matter if there's a few bad there's a few bad comedians too.
Yeah, well, I don't think so. I don't.
Okay,
Well,
Joey.
you know what? You have good and bad in every profession.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely,
but-
Bobby. Go ahead, Johnny.
All right. So, Bobby, can you? All right. I'll ask you the next. Okay. Can you share a memorable story about a customer or family that has been coming to the Kowloon for years? Now, the first one that comes to mind was Eddie Anderman. I know he came
Yeah.
to the Kowloon for years.
He started coming, and we, for some reason, he loved us as a family, and we loved his family. And he had the sports huddle. Remember the sports
Sports
huddle? Back
Huddle,
then?
sure.
He was iconic in terms of probably the very first sports radio.
That's right. He's the
Celebrity.
father of sports talk radio.
Right.
I mean, sports talk radio now is horrible. I don't know if you ever listened to it. It is just terrible now. But when Eddie Andelman and he had this little group in the sport,
Yep.
they were fantastic. They talk sports. See, sports talk shows now, they don't even talk sports.
No.
It's
Everything's
crazy.
gotten political, and that's why, Bobby, when we do this show, we started this about 8 months ago, and we all three of us agreed that we want a relaxed atmosphere, especially business owners. You don't want to start getting into divisive commentary.
No.
And we look at it as three clowns sitting at Dunkin' Donuts, having a couple of coffees, and and just talking. That's what we do, and we've gotten
That feels
good response from people because people.
I'm one of the clowns.
No, no, the Three Stooges. But no, really, Bobby, nobody wants to come on if they think you're going to be political and start being divisive.
You don't want people have
No.
enough of that, so they want to be entertained. And
Absolutely.
that's what Eddie Enterman did. And
Yeah.
so we gravitated to each other, and he really promoted the the heck out of the
Yeah,
restaurant.
he
So-
did. He
Is
did.
he still
Oh, my
alive,
God.
Bobby?
Yes, yes, he
Florida.
is.
He's not well,
Yeah.
but he's still alive
Yeah,
in Florida.
but his son's done a great job. I
David,
mean,
yeah,
they took off
yeah.
when.
Yep. I'd
started
like to
the-
get Dave
the
on the
Phantom
podcast,
Gourmet.
eh?
Yeah.
Because
Dave
Dave
would be interesting.
Dave
yeah.
was on my.
They're all wood. They're all wood.
I ran
I'll
into
send him a message.
send him because
Yeah.
I was on his Facebook, but he had some kind of controversy. He just come off Facebook, social media totally.
Yeah.
But the last time I seen Dave was at the Newbridge Cafe in Chelsea, and nice guy, a very very friendly
You
guy.
know, last time I talked to, now they opened up the drive-in up in Mendon.
Right.
Right. So
A drive-in?
Yeah, driving.
yeah, drive-in. Yeah.
Go there?
Yeah. I haven't been there
Is
yet.
it one of those X-rated, Johnny?
Well, it'd be nice. It'd be nice. No, so what happened was years ago I used to do a whole bit on going to the drive-in when we were kids, and everybody loved it because it was really. I used to talk about, the rides, how awful the rides were, But I did the start to finish, sneaking everybody in the
Yeah.
trunk
Oh
of
yeah.
the car.
Oh yeah. I remember having to go in the trunk of the car and they put a blanket over you, and then how many
Exactly.
people? One.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And I used to do this whole bit. So when they opened up the drive-in, I texted up, called David, and I said, Dave, you got to. I do this bit on the drive-in, and I think you really enjoy it. And he come in. And he come in, and that night, and I did the bit there for him, for the because of the driving. But yeah, he would be.
Could you get in touch with him, Johnny?
Yeah, I have called David.
Either that, or I'll have to go through Bobby, in case you don't have any juice.
Well, you're the one that's got all the juice.
Yeah. See, now you just set up for a perverted joke.
No, but no, you think that way, Joseph.
By the way, Bobby, my brother Moose just said hello. You know Moose with Joe that used to come in to Joe the Barber all the time.
yeah,
and,
okay.
So he told me to tell you to say hello. Just text me. Anyway,
hello back.
so go ahead, Johnny. Before I
All right.
interrupted you as usual.
Okay, Bobby, how do you manage food costs and profitability without compromising
Quality.
quality? Yes.
Okay.
You couldn't have ad-libbed
Thank
on
you.
that one.
Thank you, Billy.
Well, my brother Stanley, he does all the buying. So and back in the days when my parents were running it, they would buy bulk. They would get a deal with it, whether it was a shrimp. They would actually built a container, a freezer that could actually fill a container of whatever they were buying, and they would buy containers full of shrimp or things like that, whatever was going to be going up. So Stanley monitors it, and he knows what's going to be going up in price, and he'll try to make.
So that's kind of his forte.
Yeah.
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 I always mix up when I see Randy. Now Randy's a cousin.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I call him Stanley. I'll call Stanley Randy. I mean, I get them all. I get names. I'm horrible with names. But what I do want to ask about is remember Margaret.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She
God
was a
bless her.
classic.
Yeah.
Oh man, she was so funny,
Well,
and she had a mouth. Remember Margaret, Johnny?
Oh God, yeah.
People don't know how I hired her. So there was a diner, 24-hour diner, a truck stop diner right
Yeah.
across the street. I think probably near where Hooters is now. And she
Oh.
she worked in that diner, and the diner either burnt down or was closing. So she comes over, and she had no job because she was a foster parent too. She brought in a lot of kids, and she did a great job. Nice
woman.
biggest heart. She was so rough around the edges. Okay?
Oh, she was. I loved her
I mean,
because
yeah,
she didn't hold nothing back.
No, but again, you worked in a truck stop diner, and you know what kind of people, late at night, you get a lot of truckers or everything, you know what I'm saying? And so when she came in looking for a job, she was so rough around. I said, I can't hire this girl, you know what I'm saying? She was really rough.
Well,
But then I did because she really needed the job. I said, all right, let's try her out. She was a waitress. I was, not giving her a hard time, but always watching over and making sure she was polite and things like that, and not using the F-bomb like she would, at the other place.
of course.
She turned into such a loyal employee. She did the waitressing. She became our function manager. Then she became our front
Entertainment.
desk manager because she couldn't walk up the stairs any longer, and we kept her. And there was a funny story. When she was getting older and ready to retire, she said, I'm going to retire. I'm going to move down to Florida. So she goes down to Florida. She hates it. So I call her one day and say, how are you doing? She's crying on the phone. I hate it here. I can't stand it. It's hot. There's nothing to do. All my friends and family's back up in Massachusetts. I said, well, you got two choices. You can stay there and be miserable for the rest of your life, or you get on a plane, come back here, and come back to work where everybody's waiting for you. She says, I don't have the money for a plane fare. So I gave her the money for the plane fare. She came back, and she lasted another, I don't know how many years, but she was the voice of the restaurant.
Hysterical, because
Yeah.
the days when, remember the legendary voices upstairs, the legend shows we used to do, and there was a comedy show going in the next room. So we used to blast them. We'd have a good crowd, so we all blasting the music, and she'd come over next. She'd come over, guys, lower it down. And of course, Al was deaf, so he wouldn't turn it down. In fact, he probably brought it up.
Yeah.
And she'd come back a second time, third time, fourth time. She'd come back with the F-bombs.
You did that to comedians, Joe? I want all you comics out there to hear what he just said. So when he calls you up to do his little show at the Luna Rosa, you could tell him, "Oh yeah, we remember how you treated those comedians."
Well, it was the volume control. We couldn't go soft. I mean, we had a crowd that was dancing, and it was a tough balance with the sound.
Yeah.
But go ahead, John. I know you're dying to say something.
No, I'm just okay. So, Bobby, what have you learned about hiring, training, and retaining great employees, and who has been your longest employee?
Well, it was my head chef. He just passed, but he had retired a few years just before passing. But he was there probably since the beginning.
Since
so
the beginning.
About over 60 years.
Wow,
60
years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Stanley Lem. And
Gee,
Wow.
Johnny was 20 years old then.
I love you,
and I
Joey
still have a lot of employees, like 30, 40, 50 years.
That's
old.
wonderful.
I mean,
Well, that just goes to show
Yeah.
that when you treat people the way you treat people, they stay.
either that or they.
Is Bobby still there? You know who's the
Yeah,
winner?
he's still there.
Oh man, he's the
there.
best.
I mean, he's getting on in age.
He's
like
got to
we
be
all
up there
are, but-
30 years, no?
Oh, maybe
More.
more,
Yeah.
and he actually hosts now. You know, his waiting.
He's a
days are
sweetheart
over,
of a
so
guy.
He'll host during the day.
You know who he is, Johnny?
Who?
Bobby, the waiter. He's been there forever.
Yeah.
You'll know him if you see him.
I would know him if I saw him.
Absolutely.
So, what qualities do you look for in people who become long-term employees? I mean, what do you look for in people, Bobby?
Well, back in the days when it was tough to get employees, it was really tough. We go through up and down in terms of employees. So I would tell people if they have a heartbeat, they're hired. You know what I'm saying? So,
I like that.
but no, it's personality. You know, if somebody has a good personality, you can train somebody and teach somebody a job. So if they come in with a great personality, you know it's half the battle, if not more. And then they learn the skill and they.
And work
Yeah,
ethic.
for them.
Work
Yeah, the
ethic.
work ethic, right.
Yeah, work
Right.
ethic is really.
It's not easy. There's no magic pill to
Right.
figure it out. I mean, some people that you think is going to be great, they're not great, and then people that, you didn't know what they were going to bring to the table, they surprise you.
Yeah.
Bobby, where did your family? Where did you grow up as a kid? What town?
Belmont.
Belmont.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tough town.
I know-
Really
yeah.
tough town.
Oh yeah, those gang boys, those
yeah.
gangs in Belmont, boy. Hoo-hoo.
It was a dry town back then. I'm not sure if it's still dry now, but it was a tough town.
No, I have a few friends out there. I always say that was a wealthy town. He goes, well, that's not the part I was.
No. Where I grew up, it was right on the Cambridge line. But my backyard, if I cross the street behind me, which was Blanchard Road, right off of Concord Ave, people know that area. I crossed that road behind. We were in Cambridge, and it was all predominantly Italian.
Really?
I mean, we were the only. I mean, every street was Italian, like 3 or 4 streets in
kidding.
a row, all Italian.
You sure you don't have Italian
and
in you?
one Chinese family in the middle.
And it was the
But,
Wongs?
yeah, we got along. It was.
Amazing.
I had the best childhood. Street hockey,
Yep.
playing pickup basketball, baseball, everything. Same.
How did you
football.
have time for that when you were working?
No,
at the-
I was a
I'm only
kid.
teasing.
I was a kid one time.
You know, it's so funny you should say that.
Yeah.
I started out as a letter carrier
Yeah.
in Cambridge, and I'll never forget. We used to go up right up to the Belmont line.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a Chinese family. I can't believe it was you.
That could have been.
That was definitely you
Yeah.
because there was this one Chinese family in that neighborhood,
right on the line.
right on the line.
But
Where
what year
your
was
area?
that?
Was that Blanchard Road back
Yeah,
then?
yeah.
That was,
Oh,
it, was
sir.
it was a little brick ranch
Yeah.
house right on the corner.
And I because you're delivering mail. You got Rossetti, Canzoni, Babapika, and then you got Wong. So of course that's kind of sticks in
Yeah.
your head.
Yeah, but Johnny, you would have known the family because
No, I wouldn't have
No.
known the
why
family.
the early 70s?
No, because when
No,
I
that was
first
even
started
before that, I think,
when I
yeah.
first started in the post
What
office,
year?
I was 1973.
Okay.
I was living in East Boston. Saugus to me was the sticks. Really.
But you
never
had to
get-
know the Kowloon. Everybody knew.
No, Joey, I never get out of East Boston. I'm
Come
telling
on.
you. You know what my big trip was when I was a kid? Pleasure Island. Now, not where you went for the massages, but the amusement park.
Was that in Wakefield?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, no, because the reason why I say that is because I've been going to the Kowloon since I was 7 years old.
Your,
'Cause, my
your
mother,
family took you. I never get out of East Boston, Joe.
Well, I mean, but it doesn't seem. Life doesn't seem that it ever existed without the Kowloon or the Hilltop.
Well, maybe to you. Well, then again, you were in Revere. You were one
oh,
town over.
you were 1 mile away, Johnny,
Yeah,
in East
well,
Boston.
well, when you don't have a car and you're a little kid, that's
you were
like.
old, yeah, but you weren't that young when you were delivering mail.
Well, I was living in East Boston. I'd go to East Boston and Cambridge, back East Boston. That
Okay,
was.
so
that
you
was
never
kinda
heard
my-
of the Kowloon when you were up?
No,
in your
I
tw-
didn't hear about the Kowloon until I moved to Saugus.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
Billy, you got something to say over there? You
Hey,
awake?
Billy!
Yeah, well, I have something like way out of nothing of what they're talking about.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, when you were growing up, did you ever get involved in martial arts?
I took karate. My brother's the
Stanley?
No, Donald.
Donald. I know it
Donald,
was one of
he's
them.
He's the master. I mean,
Really?
yeah, I took. Everybody takes karate when you're
I thought it was
little,
Stanley. It was
you know
Donald?
what I'm saying? He's still fighting.
I think the last time I seen Donald was at the Irontown Diner. Billy's second home.
So I'll
No,
tell
but
you.
he's very very good at it.
So-
That's awesome.
I remember one time he came home. We all lived together back in Belmont those days, and he came home with a trophy like this big. I guess was humongous, and he won it.
And he's still practicing.
And he's still practicing.
That's-
And
I-
he's still tournaments. He's still fighting in tournaments.
now you
It's
took
crazy.
lessons too, though.
incredible.
Yeah, but not like him.
Right.
No, he's out
he
there.
stuck with it.
So I went to the United Studios of Self Defense. Okay, so I did it.
Fred Villari.
Fred Villari, exactly. So here's my little story. So when they had like all the different belts, like it was like the Howard Johnsons of karate. You got like a yellow belt, pink belt, green belt. I mean, every color of the rainbow.
Pink.
That's what because that's every time you went for a belt, it was more money. So they just had all the different color belts. When actually there's only like, green and So anyways, so I'm going up for my first belt, right? And it's very serious. And they had the nunchucks. The head guy go like this. So they made me stand there like this, right? And they put a cup of water on my head, and you had to stand there while he had the nunchucks. Wah, 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 wah. And he goes, and all of a sudden, woof, he hit the cup off my head, and the water went everywhere, But you had to stand there like you couldn't move. So then they gave me some sort of sign like whatever. So when I went to go, I slipped in the water and went flying up in the air, and they all it's supposed to be so serious. They all ran out of the room laughing, and that was my last karate lesson.
So Johnny basically, how there's white belt, yellow belt.
Yeah, you're right,
Johnny's
yeah.
got a rainbow belt.
Well, that's a good way to
Exactly.
do it. You get as many belts as you can. You keep the kid going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Johnny
your,
Rainbow. I just got dizzy, so when I got punished, I suffer with vertigo, Bobby. So when I get really out of line, I think God punishes me, and I get a touch of it. Go ahead, Johnny.
Did you have vertigo?
I do,
Yeah,
yeah.
I had it. I had touch of it too.
Have you
Yeah,
ever
it's
had-
awful.
have you-
It's
what?
awful.
Sleepy.
Oh, shut up! I'm talking.
Yeah,
you can't
vertigo
get,
is
You can't
awful.
get serious with this guy. I'm trying to talk serious. You suffer. How often do you get it, Bobby?
Nah, I haven't had an episode for a little while, but I had a few episodes that was.
Isn't it awful, Bobby?
It's the one
The
of the worst
worst-
feeling in the world.
I
you know
tell
what I'm saying?
Bobby, honest to God, Bobby, I tell people
They don't
that-
understand. They
No,
don't understand.
if
no.
you've never
you think,
exper-
you have a headache, big deal. You know what I'm saying?
No, I've told people, listen, I mean it. Other than a critical disease, sickness,
Yeah.
God forbid,
Yeah.
there's nothing worse than vertigo unless you have something you're gonna die
Yeah,
from.
yeah, and you can't stop it.
You
You
can't.
can't do it. You're at its mercy. You just gotta. Even
I've-
when you're lying down, you still feel it.
I've
It's
cried
awful.
and begged my mother to come and get me.
Yeah.
That's how sad. That's how sick I get.
Yeah.
And you
still get it?
I do. I got
Okay.
it about 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
3 weeks ago, and I couldn't move for about 24 hours.
Yeah.
And then when you wake up the next morning
Yeah.
and it's just slowly burning off,
Yep.
and I tell Billy this. I do pray. I actually get out of bed and I say, "It's gone," and I look up. I go, "Thank you."
Yeah.
It's like hitting a
It-
$20
it
million
ta-
dollar.
It takes a whole day. It takes a whole day.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I've had it for weeks at a time.
Yeah. Wow, that's really bad.
5-6 days at a time. My daughter was 3 years old, and I remember she was over the house one day, and she had to eat,
Yeah.
and I couldn't. She was holding me at 3 years old. I had to go make baked macaroni and cheese. I was dying.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what else, Johnny? Would you get?
Bobby, how was your Chinese heritage influence your approach to business and hospitality?
I don't know about if that really has much of an influence. I'll be honest with you. I was, I don't speak Chinese. My parents, believe it or not,
Don't feel
I, mean,
bad.
I know the bad words. Okay,
Don't feel bad, Bobby. Johnny can barely speak English.
but my parents, didn't speak to us because they were always working. So we had people that would watch us that were not Chinese speaking. So
Right.
my brother, older brother and older sister knew because they spent more time with them. But then as they got going in their business, we were never seeing my parents.
How
enough,
often
so.
do you go to China, like to visit? Or
Not very often.
Not
No.
very often.
No.
Okay.
No.
What traditions or values have remained constant throughout your restaurant's history?
Well, I think we are family because the siblings, have been together for forever. You know what I'm saying? So, we're very close that way, and that comes first. But I think treating people the right way, whether it's your siblings or employees. That's why they're all staying. So.
Right.
And that's
right.
why they're still there after 75 years. Simple. No, really, it's a simple remedy. I mean, it's a formula that you've mastered because there's, like I said earlier, there is nobody I know that doesn't speak the highest regards of you and your family, and that's why it was flattering to have you here tonight, and actually an honor to have Bobby here today.
Well,
Well, it's an honor to be. It's an honor to be.
Well,
here.
I wouldn't
go
that
you
far.
guys,
Thank you.
You guys are great.
Go ahead, Johnny. I know you're dying to say something.
No,
again.
no.
Yeah, but you can't get a word in with this guy. He just doesn't. He doesn't shut up all
I've
night.
done my homework.
I know.
I mean, look at
You
this.
could have gave me that before. I could have written down all the answers. You know what I'm saying?
Like a test.
Bobby's gonna be a stand-up. He must watch the comics and
No.
say, "I could do that."
So, Bobby, if you could give one piece of advice to somebody opening a restaurant today, what would it be?
Make money. Yeah, that would be good. No. Like
Bingo.
opening a restaurant. I mean, there's like I said, there's no really magic formula. Things, people they work hard. So when you hear or see reviews, people love to give a review on online. You know what I'm saying? And I never look at anything online.
Have you seen?
No.
Have you ever heard things that might have been negative that have bothered you?
Well, if I stayed online, of course, you're not going to be able to please 100% of the
No.
people. So there's always one or two people that like to be online and give it to not only me, but I talk to other people in all businesses.
It's all business because
It's all businesses.
I
Yeah,
wish-
and probably this podcast will probably have a couple.
No, I got to be honest. It's true though,
They're
Bobby.
constantly
Because
saying, "Can you get rid of Canzano?"
Right,
please?"
right. No, but
oh,
but you know what I
two
tell-
against one tonight.
No, I'm just telling the truth.
Yeah, one of
I'm
my-
giving them the feedback.
one of my employees was so upset because she was, saw something online, and we get very good reviews a lot of times, but there was this particular bad one. She was all upset. I said, forget it. You know what I'm saying? People are going to be like that. And that's why I don't read reviews. I told her, I said, this is how you measure if you're successful or not. Are you busier now than you were last year? Are you busier? Are you constantly getting busier and busier? And the other thing I told her is like, okay, when you leave, like this restaurant, when it closed down, will more people be so happy it's about time they closed? Or would they be saying, oh no, how can you close? You can't close. You're part of our life. And that's the biggest compliment when people say we were part of their lives growing up. So like I said, I don't look at reviews, and I just measure how people leaving the restaurant. And if we seem to be busier as each year or each week or whatever, that's how you measure success.
The one thing that I find that the reason Kowloon has been so successful is you guys are consistent. You never went in there and you're just cutting corners on the quality of the food, on the portions of the food, none of that. And along with the personalities, that's what makes it flourish. People want to come back. They want to be in that environment because they know what they're going to get. They're not being there's no surprises when you walk in. Like this time you come and everything's great, portions are great, and the next time you come, oh, well, we'll just do a little bit smaller because we want to make more money on it.
Right.
That's,
Well,
you guys don't do that at all.
Well, and a lot has to do with the fact that we have employees been here for a long time. So it's people say it's consistent because our employees have been here a long time. So
True.
especially in the kitchen. So if they've been there a long time, they know what to do. They know the routine. They know to make it the same. So if we had a lot of turnover, it'd be much more of a challenge.
Are you getting a little sentimental, Bobby, regarding the I don't know when it's going to happen, but
Yeah,
they're talking
yeah,
about
it's funny. We've been at this I don't tell people when we're closing because people say when you're closing, and people think I'm lying and say, yeah, we're closing tomorrow, so hurry up and get in here. You know what I'm saying? but I always thought it was like 1 or 2 years, and right now we're getting closer to getting approval from the town, and it's been a few years, but.
What's the holdup? Wait a minute. What is the holdup?
Well, they're just doing their due diligence.
Bring them
what
a
I'm
couple of order of D's, and
No.
they'll be fine.
I think it's going to be heartbreaking more so than the hilltop
Well,
to see it go.
Yeah, a few years ago when we announced it and we were getting the plans done, I didn't think of it as much as I do a little bit more, much more now. I should, and a little bit more, a lot more, whatever. But back then I was like, okay, well, we're gonna put apartments, we're gonna build another small one, we're gonna figure out do other things. But now it's like I'm walking through the place and it's like, wow, it's gonna be really, really strange when this place comes down.
It's going to be
because-
very emotional.
Yeah, I've been going there since I was like,
A baby.
yeah, 5 years. I remember my parents would take us and 5, 6 years old, and we'd be going, walking around the dining room and playing catch. And back then they didn't have a big lunch crowd, and my brother and I would play catch. We roll up somebody's sock and just throw it around like baseball.
But you definitely, it is in the mix. It is in the
Yeah,
future plans.
yeah,
too.
yeah. It's
Now,
going
when
to
you
be
see-
harder, I think.
When you
so.
see that building come down, that's going to be
Yeah,
horrible for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think so. It's I think more, not so much myself. I can block things out for myself, but I think it was the legacy of my parents.
Yes.
They built it. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
it's almost like tearing a part of them down in a way.
I
But
get it.
but everything's in your head. You know what I'm saying? Everything's a
Absolutely.
memory now. So.
So tell us a little bit about the new place, Bobby, the newest place on Revere Beach.
We just opened for dining yesterday. We did a takeout for the last 2 or 3 days. There's an earthquake. All right.
That was me. That was me.
And now we're open for dining. We opened half the restaurant. We didn't open the entire thing because it's we're trying to make sure the employees get their feet
Trained.
under them. And
I heard there was a line around the corner. Is that true?
Well, there was a line, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't think it was around the corner, but it was a line,
Yeah.
and which is great. And it's a great looking spot. And
I haven't been in there yet.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
going to have entertainment there at all, Bobby? At all?
just DJ. that's
DJ,
all.
good.
No comedy.
No.
Just
No comedy.
it's a small place. It's only 100 seats inside, about 60 outside. But
Oh, it's outside too?
oh yeah.
You like the spot though, Bobby? It's right on the
It's a
water.
great spot. It's funny. I didn't even think. I wasn't thinking of opening another place. You never think of it. You're not pushing yourself, especially at this time in my life. But somebody said there's a spot on Revere Beach. You should take a look at. The owner wants to reconcept it. It was a steakhouse.
Steakhouse,
and it
yeah.
became Vivi's, which is a tapas bar. So I said, I don't know.
A topless bar?
No, a tapas.
Oh,
tapas. Okay,
tapas.
that's
Oh,
my
see,
Chinese.
Johnny-
That's my Chinese accent. See, I
Johnny-
do speak Chinese.
No,
all right?
don't. Bobby, Johnny's always taking it to the gutter.
I know.
Every
I know.
week. Every week.
And yeah.
Topless.
Okay.
How do you get topless from tapas?
Yeah.
Please explain.
Well, you're on Revere Beach. You never know.
Yeah,
so
that's
that's
right.
He's funnier than you.
Yeah.
Wow, Bobby.
Yeah.
You're quick with the jokes. But anyway, tapas.
Yeah, tapas. And so they said, you got to take a look at it. A mutual friend of ours. And I said, I didn't know the person that owned it. Michael Aldi, great guy. So I went there just to take a look, just be curious. Because Revere Beach, what's on Revere Beach? And people. So I go there and I said, what a great spot. And I haven't been down to Revere Beach in years, because, back when they got rid of the amusement park, I stopped going, So I went there, I looked down, rode up and down. I said, this place is beautiful. Revere Beach is beautiful. I mean,
looks
apartments,
really good.
condos. It looks like Miami Beach. If you're looking at the skyline,
Yeah,
it's just
it does.
they did a fantastic job.
Aesthetically, it's beautiful.
I'm unbelievable. So I said, and then I looked at the spot and I said, it's right across the street from the beach. It's like and then your wheels start to turn, and it's like, okay, become that addict again. Like, okay, let's do something there. And I said, they said put a Kowloon there, and I didn't want to just put a restaurant there because that's kind of, it's okay, but it's, you don't want to just put a Chinese restaurant. So I thought Tiki Bar would be a good theme.
Kowloon Tiki Bar.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Yeah, so
I'm
that's,
gonna have to-
and that's
No, I like that aesthetically, Joe. Now, you got to define that word for me. Aesthetically. Come on, Joe.
all right.
You can't get serious with this guy, Bobby. He thinks he's a comedian.
We had the mayor of Revere on the show, and he is so excited.
Patrick Keefe.
Oh, yeah.
so excited about you guys coming in there.
His office reached out to us when they heard rumors that we might be going in there, and so somebody reached out and said, "Is that true?" And I said, "Yeah, we're in discussion, and we're thinking about it." And says, "If you need anything, the mayor's office would love to just help you out wherever."
Isn't
you
that
can.
great?
There's not
It
a
was
city-
great. It was really great
Yeah.
because that was part of the reason why we said, "Well, let's do it." Everybody wants us there, so and
I think it's going to be
And the
a
mayor's a
grand
great guy.
slam.
It's
I really
absolutely
do.
gonna-
Grand
well,
slam.
anything
yeah.
he does is
no,
a grand
no.
slam.
The
Bobby.
mayor is a great guy.
Yeah.
so.
Patrick is excellent. We
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
a lot of fun with him on the show. It was about 3 or 4 weeks. 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, he was a
Pretty much.
restaurant guy too. He was a legal
Legal
seafood.
seafood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've known
So he
Patrick.
understands how hard it is. So that's good.
Patrick, his family used to own a restaurant in Revere called Biagio's
Oh, okay.
back in the 90s. And my first place I ever sang publicly is his father's place. His mom and his uncle. And the
That was the first place you.
I ever said it was called Biagio's on Squire Road. Not the Squire, Johnny. Do you want to say something, Billy?
Yeah, and you actually got work after you sang over there.
You gonna see what I'm dealing with?
Right, I know.
I'm
I
dealing
know.
with Abbott and Costello tonight. Little Abbott and Costello. That's different. Not the Three Stooges. Go ahead, Billy.
I'm sorry. I think it's a great idea. I'm so psyched that you guys are doing that. It's going to be in addition to doing the new place on Route 1.
Yeah.
I think they're just going to complement each other. It's going to be great. I'm excited. I know the Greek restaurant that was there before you. Their business wasn't doing well.
Where's this,
at
Revere?
all. Revere Beach.
Oh, I
yeah.
didn't know there was a Greek restaurant there.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, Bobby, basically you're definitely not getting out of the business. You're just going to be changing things with the up in Saugus.
Yeah, right. We're gonna
So-
make it smaller. Like the Revere Beach location, we gave some of the employees that want to become partners. We let them put some money and become
Right.
partners with us, and the same thing we'll do in Saugus. You know what I'm saying?
So now
So they have, they can live, their dreams as well.
the new location when it's developed, you're talking years away from the development.
Well, we got the permits today. We'd be able to break ground sometime.
lot of
late
work.
this year. We don't know. It takes time.
What's how many people is that new place going to hold in Saugus?
A couple hundred,
Couple
300. Yeah.
Would you
Yeah.
think of having any comedy over there to continue?
No,
So
definitely
you're
not.
done with the comedy.
You're done with the comedy?
No,
Are
I
you
don't know.
done?
I don't know. Don't tell Giggles, all right? Because then you'll expand.
So at the end of the day, Bobby, like I said, your establishment is the last existing when Continental's gone, Hilltop's gone, Whaley's, Caruso's.
Well,
that-
Prince is still here.
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
Prince
okay,
still
okay,
had,
yeah.
they just had
I mean, great.
a big June 1st.
How many years was that, Johnny? Giggles.
65. Well, Giggles is 37 years.
No, I'm talking about the
Wow.
Prince House.
Prince, it's 65 years. So they, June 1st, I don't know if you, did you see the line? So they reverted back to the prices of June 1st
okay.
in 1965, I think it was.
5 cents a meatball.
Yeah, it was like 5 cents a meatball. A whole pizza was $1. The drinks were 10 cents for a can of Coke. So the line went out the door, down the parking lot, and around the building. It was
Yeah, I
crazy.
heard about that. That was last week, wasn't it? Last Monday.
Joey, I'm surprised you weren't there. When you heard 10 cents for a
5
meatball.
cents a meatball.
Yeah.
I would have broke my leg running there. But so that's 65 years there too, and 65 years at the council. So that
76,
70
yeah.
so
yeah.
did you know the owner, the original owner of the Prince?
Oh, yeah.
Arthur.
Arthur,
yeah.
you
My
know-
parents knew him very well. Great guy. Actually, people don't know, and this is the other little tidbit. Okay, the parking lot they have.
Yeah.
On the right side of the restaurant. That property was owned by my parents.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, this is going way back. And I remember I was probably like 10 years old back then. And they put a Chinese restaurant there. It used to be a steakhouse called the Steak Pit. I mean, this is people
Where the
I don't
Prince
know-
is right now?
No, in
on the right
parking lot.
side, the parking
Oh,
lot.
the parking lot.
Just on the right side of the
Okay.
parking lot, there was a steakhouse called the Steak Pit, and you go up, kind of like York Steakhouse. Remember, you go up and it's kind of cafeteria line. They cook the steak, and
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
that. Then you pick out your things that you
Some
want to go with,
sides,
the sides as well as like
Yeah.
your dessert. And they bought that, and they put a Chinese restaurant there. It was called Mr. Wong's. This is, if you remember this, you're much older. You're even older than I am. So there's not a lot of people out there, and I'm old. So, and there was a steakhouse called the Steak Pit. They bought it, and we went up for steak, and I thought it was the best thing. I was a young kid, and you want the steak, and you see it cooked. And then they said, "Oh no, we're going to change it to a Chinese restaurant." I was a little disappointed because I really enjoyed going up to that line, and so they built a Chinese restaurant called Mr. Wong's. They did a nice job, and I remember working there on one New Year's Eve. I was probably 14 then, maybe 13, but there was no label laws back then. But I remember washing dishes on New Year's Eve, and shortly after, I don't know how many days, months ago, later, it burnt down. So after it burnt down, my parents said, we're not going to rebuild it. So they asked Arthur if they want to buy it, and Arthur Casperity bought it and expanded their parking lot.
Ah,
See, that's a story that
that's a-
no one knows.
Nobody
Isn't
knows.
that-
Nobody knows.
That's
Oh, you
really
got it here. It's
Yeah,
straight up
yeah,
talk, boss.
yeah, if it
Straight
wasn't,
up.
if it wasn't for this podcast, no one would know. And that's something that no
Wow.
one. And I don't know. I try to look it up. I went on, Google and try
Bob,
to.
you could tell stories for days. I
Yeah,
guarantee
yeah,
you that
yeah.
we'd be amazed.
Yeah.
Before we close, shut down, I don't want. I know you might be in a hurry, but
No, I'm
I
fine.
could stay here for
Yeah.
all night with you.
Yeah.
It's John I got to deal with. but I want to know. There was a question on one of the. I put a video up last night advertising tonight, and one of the women was asking you. The interviewer was asking who was the biggest celebrity that you got to know at the Kowloon.
Personally, no.
Yes.
Well, we had a lot of celebrities.
Yes,
Like Jerry Seinfeld was huge. Back in the days, we had.
He wasn't even a big star when he came.
No, we booked him for $12,000. Okay, 2 shows, $12,000. It was before his, series on
TV
TV.
series,
yeah.
Before his TV series. So we booked him 2 shows. It was packed, and I never even heard of Jerry Seinfeld. I was like, who the hell is this guy? We 500 tickets both shows, and the place was mobbed.
But do you remember that, Johnny?
I absolutely.
How did he get
Well,
12,000? Was he well
just,
known?
well, let me just say this.
No, he
there was a
wasn't- he wasn't well-
reporter.
yeah.
Her name was Laurel Sweet. Did you know Laurel Sweet?
No,
She was a reporter for the Lynn Item.
Yeah.
She did the very first article about me, right? Because I did a show in the Heart with Lenny and John Panette,
Yeah.
and she was at the show and being a mailman and a comedian, so that was a big hook. All of a sudden, the next week, that's when Jerry Seinfeld came
Oh,
in,
really? That's-
and she did a big article on him too, and I
Yeah.
it was pretty good. 1 week it was my
Was
first.
you right?
Yeah,
What I'm
and then
curious
it-
about, though, how was he
We got him for like. Well, how much did we pay you?
$12?
Like
Yeah,
$12.
I was gonna say,
It was
12 bucks.
before he
Yeah.
became
13
before he
bucks.
became big.
And now he's
But I didn't know.
Now it's $15.
But I didn't know Jerry Seinfeld. I didn't know him personally. He was in and out. But probably one of the guys that we did know, he was a great guy, Roger Clemens.
okay.
Yeah, Roger
Oh,
Clemens was
nice.
great guy. He lived right nearby. A lot of people lived in the Saugus area, so he
Did he
lived
live?
there.
Did he live in Saugus, Roger?
Yeah, I think so. Or right in that North Shore, right? Not that far, because he would come in with his family.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like once a
wow.
week, and he'd come in.
I didn't know Roger
nice-
lived up here.
The Bruins.
Nicest
the
guy.
Bruins.
The
were
Bruins
just-
were great.
oh,
Okay,
oh my
talk
God, the
about people
Bruins.
that I really knew was all the Bruins back in
Yeah,
the days.
Ricky Middleton.
Rick Middleton, and I even know all those Bruins even more than Roger Clemens. But
They're so accessible.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about hockey
Yeah.
players. They are so accessible.
They're a different breed.
They're
Yeah,
they're totally
definitely.
different breed.
100%.
I know Ricky Middleton.
Terry O'Reilly.
Terry
I mean,
O'Reilly. I
great,
know Ricky
yeah.
really well. and-
Last time I saw John
Ray Bork.
was
Ray
at the
Bork's a
Garden.
great
Oh, yeah,
guy.
great guy.
All great
Do you know
people.
I met Bobby a few years ago, and I'll never forget. It was Patty Puppa from the North End.
Sure.
She got me in to meet Bobby. Now Bobby to me is like a god.
Oh yeah.
And the nicest man you'd ever want to meet, classy. So I remember when I was waiting for my autograph, and my daughter was with me at the time. She was about 14 or 15. She was looking at me, looking at him, and I was staring. My mouth was on the ground. I had never met him. And Kevin Childs a couple of times called me while I was sleeping because I got Bobby up at the Ferncroft Golf, and I was snoozing. Anyway, my daughter looks at me and she says to me, she goes, "Dad, you look like you're looking at Elvis." I said, "Ava, this is Elvis to me. This is the Elvis of hockey.
Yep.
If you've heard of hockey, you've heard of Bobby Orr." You heard of music, you heard of Velvet. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, you're
No,
good. No,
I mean he could be considered the greatest hockey player ever. I mean,
Without a
there's
doubt.
other, you
Yeah.
got Wayne Gretzky, other people like that.
Yeah, but he
yes.
revolutionized.
I
he
mean,
was-
come on, 7 years.
Yeah.
I mean, he played in.
Can
with
you
just-
imagine what he would have accomplished if he didn't get a bad knee?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was 30 years old and he had to retire.
Yeah.
I know.
Horrible.
It was
But-
it was horrible the way he went out too.
But The Rock, you became friendly with The Rock too.
Yeah,
and John
actually,
Cena?
yeah, my brother Andy. Okay, now we can go through all my brothers. At least they all get mentioned once on the show.
Yay,
so we're happy about
Andy!
it.
Andy's a good man.
Andy, he knows The Rock. He knows John Cena. It's amazing how he knows these people. Like he has their personal numbers. Don't go calling Andy though. But but I mean, he knows him so well. I mean, it's
He's a
That's
personable
awesome.
guy, though.
yeah.
He's got the
loves,
Wong charm.
But he loves wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just keep trying to tell him it's not real, but you know. So.
You probably he's probably your restaurant. The Kowloon is probably the first restaurant that was bringing a lot of celebrities in locally. Then you had Nick Verano for Strega. He brought a lot of celebrities into. He's going to be coming on in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
So,
I saw that.
but yeah, it's amazing that you were probably the first restaurant in the year that I recall with all these type of personalities, celebrity, acting, comedy, sports. You know, I mean,
Yeah. I think
Oh, they have a wall
Eddie
of
Enderman
fame
had a
there.
lot
That's
to
what-
do with
yeah,
it
he
because
did,
Eddie Enderman
yeah.
would just tout us so much that a lot of the professional athletes and other celebrities, because he had the sports huddle, which was just about sports,
Oh yeah.
and they would try the place, and it was great. So
Wall
and
of
Eddie
Fame.
would bring a bunch of them in too.
He used to
so.
come with Blackie.
Yeah.
Remember? And he used to come in. Who was the Carmen Seminary? I remember Carmen
Seminary, yeah,
Seminary. Oh
yeah,
man, he was a
yeah,
great guy.
yeah.
I used to see him all the time. There was always regulars up there. Every
Yeah.
time you come up, there was always like regular people.
Oh, back in the
Saugus
days, it was
area.
it was more fun. I shouldn't say it's not fun now, but
It's
you know,
different.
again, it
It's
had.
different.
Well, we're young. Like I said, when people say,
It's
"Why
different,
why is
Paul.
it more fun?" Well, I was only in my 20s. It was anything in your
Everything
20s is fun. You know what I'm saying? And we would have all the guys back, and then we talk about the mob, but we would have all the mobsters.
Oh, absolutely.
All the mobsters would come in the place.
Now,
A lot of the
What?
Celtics.
I know all
the
of them,
Celtics
you know?
would come in too.
Yeah.
Some of the Celtics would come into
Yeah.
the Kowloons.
Yep.
Now you have, without a doubt, that those pictures, if you have, it would definitely be considered the Wall of Fame.
The Wall of
you
Fame.
should have another wall for Johnny, the Wall of Shame.
Yeah. I don't, Johnny. Are you on that wall? I don't know.
No.
No. Okay, I'm sorry.
I like the way John.
I brought
Bobby
my
jumped.
picture in, and they said no.
No.
Sorry, John.
I like the way Bobby just jumps in. See, I thought you were a serious guy. You're a clown.
No, I'm not. I'm
You're
not
a
a
clown like
serious
us. He fits right in. Billy, you want to say something?
I'm enjoying the conversation.
Well, I mean, I don't want
very
to.
good.
I just don't want to hog the show because I have to get ahead of Johnny because no, Johnny and I go back. We have so much fun in this show. It's a blast, and it's all we do is laugh. And what's it all about, Bobby? Laugh.
That's
food,
all it is. That's
and
all it is, yeah.
don't go in the gutter, Johnny.
I'm just following your lead, Joseph.
No, I'm following your lead because you got 4 pages over there. You got any more
Well,
questions?
I got pretty much all the questions here. And
What's my grade?
Yeah.
Did I do well?
let me tell you something. If I had to give you a grade, it would be A++.
All right, that's grade inflation
And,
right now. That's
You know, and I just want to.
I go to Harvard. I got all A's.
Well, I just want to say, Bobby, and I, from the bottom of my heart, you've always been amazing to me, my family. I've come in with friends. You've always been so good to me, and I can't thank you enough for
The
everything.
generosity in this man
is amazing.
is
No,
ridiculous.
I just remember you guys coming in for years now,
Years.
and it's
But you know
it's
what?
a good feeling just to see. It's
But
like
you-
people I haven't seen forever. They come in.
It's
It's
the
like,
old days.
it's great.
It brings
Yeah.
you back too.
Yeah, it does. It
But
does.
but like I said, the other one day, Billy and I was taking a couple of people out to dinner that helped us out with a fundraiser on autism. Family affair. The
Yeah,
family,
the girls, yeah.
the girls, the Michelle, Lisa, and her
Yep.
mother Marie. They're like family to me. Well, they helped us out on a fundraiser at the Rosaria, and Billy and I said we're gonna take them out to dinner Sunday. So we brought them to Kowloon. Now, Billy, am I wrong? Bobby was nowhere to be seen.
Nowhere.
And I said to Billy, Billy, good, Bobby's not here because always. At the end of the night, we ordered all the food. I swear, I did not see that. I don't know if he was hiding
I
somewhere.
don't know if he saw us on camera.
He was.
or what,
He was not
but
around.
Nowhere to be found.
At the end of the night, we were getting the bill, and the waiter comes up. Bobby, take care. I don't know where is he? But
Well,
anyways,
I knew you were coming in for a
Oh,
good cause, so.
yeah,
you know,
but
so-
Bobby, believe me, the generosity. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, that-
I drink a lot of caffeine, so I stutter a lot. But
but that's all, folks.
Bobby, this was absolutely an honor for us to have you here. Will you come and do it again sometime?
Yeah, sure.
Not
definitely.
right away. Maybe
no,
about
yeah,
maybe
maybe
3 weeks.
Yeah.
All right, Bobby. Thank
right,
you
thank you.
again,
Thank
and
you
so
take it
much.
home,
Thank you.
Billy.
Thank
Yep,
you. It was a
absolutely.
pleasure.
You're a
lot of
true
fun.
gentleman,
lot
sir.
of fun.
Definitely.
Take it home, Billy boy.
We appreciate
One
you.
time.
Thank you.
Bring it on. We'll let you know when you can take the headphones off. Go ahead. Here you go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for Straight Up Talk Boston. Getting a little tongue-tied again. Thank you for joining us, me, Joey, and Johnny. We appreciate you. Every Monday night, 7 o'clock. Don't miss us. We'll be back next week with nobody else but, ready for this? Charlie Moore, the Mad Fisherman. We love you. God bless.